What's going on, everybody? And yeah, you're here. You're here for the moment that we had another Diamond Minecraft Let's Play. Now, this obviously is not normal Minecraft. As you can see, there are emus around here, and we are, much like Australia, losing the emu wars. In fact, I'm actually trying to make an emu farm at the moment. It's kind of what I'm going with. But this is a modded Minecraft game that I've been playing not a ton. I mean, it says 83 days up in that upper right hand corner, but that's 83 in-game days. I've been playing for a week or so, just kind of exploring, deciding what I wanted to do. This is a Life in the Village mod pack, so it's focused around villagers and trying to help villagers make sure that they have like actual jobs. You can actually position them in places. There's some exploration based mods and some other stuff, and some quality of life things as well. Including these waystones, so I can teleport. I did not get to name these. I did not name Zork Slammerark or Rymirimer. I have not yet actually tried to pronounce that out loud, and I realized how bad that was. But as you can see in the mini map in the top right hand corner, we're going to follow this little blue line. This is the path I've been making to go to where my kind of initial base is. And you might be wondering, Diamond, why does another Let's Play exist? What happened? What's going on here? What major life event or news has required a Minecraft Let's Play video to be created? And some of you may know that I have a child on the way, and you would think that something like that might be the reason. I guess kind of that, you know, if I'm stuck at home, this might be something I could do whenever we have a little Maple coming in meeting us. No, we are here for a much more serious situation. We are here because of a Who Would Win challenge that I posted in my classroom, and I have thought long and hard about it, and I don't think I could really give this exact conversation over and over and over again, so I decided to make this video, and that's what I'm going to do. We'll quick go over here, and also give you a little bit of a world tour. So yeah, these are Lisbeth Simonson, and yeah, there's these like houses that generate all around the world. They're really cool. I did not make this. I'm not that talented. And you can actually like talk to them and like do little tiny quests for them. Let me make sure I don't have something. So yeah, she's like, I want a melon slice and some bread, please. I've never completed one of those quests yet. I've been a hermit, kind of hiding over in my place and doing a lot of building. But so the question was, who would win, the Hulk, the Incredible Hulk, that has the ability to see 3 seconds into the future and can use the Force, versus Darth Vader, who can stop time when he holds his breath and has super endurance and super strength. I think it was super strength. Part of the reason that I added those extra ones on there, because normally I try to keep it balanced, like card-wise. I want them to have about the same amount of cards on them, is because I just feel like if you don't give super endurance to Darth Vader, the challenge becomes, can the Hulk run around long enough until Darth Vader gets tired? Which, I mean, I know he's in an exoskeleton, but like, you know, I still feel like he's going to eventually have to go rest. I know he needs to recharge somewhat. He can't just run around space forever. He has to sit in those little like bath things. So this is the entrance of where my house is, by the way. I have a little, I made this. Cat's going crazy in the background. I made this little water coming out of here. You'll see how it connects up here. I was originally doing a 3-wide path, but I kind of decided I think I'm going to do a 4-wide path with this. But I think if you don't have super strength and you don't have super endurance, then it's just not even a fair fight. And I think the Hulk could like just throw stuff at him. Like you wouldn't need to like actually get into combat with one another. And I didn't really like that. This is my little bamboo corner. I guess. This was all a valley, and I carved it down symmetrically and then replaced all of this with corresponding colors of terracotta, because I kind of like the aesthetic of it. That's a waterfall that I made, so I could have this little lake. I dug out this lake. Yeah, I've been hard at work here. So anyway, I think that's just requirement. Otherwise, the challenge is like super easy. Like, yes, Darth Vader has a pretty powerful usage of the Force, but the Hulk can throw like multiple boulders and stuff like that at it. And I don't think it would be a very Naruto Madara situation with Onoki. Spoilers for the fourth grade ninja war of Naruto, I guess, where Madara is like, but can you catch the other boulder and or other meteor, and drops a second meteorite on him. Like, I just feel like even if Darth Vader is like powerful enough to do that, like he's just gonna get smushed. These are my emus, by the way. I mentioned that I don't think I have food for them, but I do have eggies, so I'm gonna try to grow a few more. Work just like chicken eggs. Yeah. So yeah, the emo war has begun. I made that joke without even knowing that was an achievement. Full disclosure, I've not looked up anything related to any of these mods. I think it's fun, or more fun if I don't do that. I would rather just kind of be rambling around and find out things exist in the moment. So that's kind of what I've been doing here. I also think that one of the things that people weren't considering is the fact that holding breath to time stop is super, super powerful. It's like one of the most busted abilities I can think of. But Darth Vader actually has a built-in limiter on this because his whole breathing apparatus goes like he has a set, like, he only gets like a second or half-second breath that is what he's going to be able to stop time. So I think that, like, also is still powerful because it's consistent. I think a lot of people would accidentally like use the time stop ability way too much, and they would like hold their breath for a really long time, and then they would gasp and not get to use it. By having like a consistent like half-second time stop, you get to like blink in and out of existence, and it would be pretty cool. So I think that's the other reason that like that is a balanced skill for him to have. So why do I think this is that difficult? Because as some people have pointed out, which are my friends who I love dearly, I usually just like say the Hulk wins everything because the Hulk is busted. And yeah, that's true. But Darth Vader's also kind of busted if you go by like comic and like some of the actual book canons. And I don't want to do that. So I'm limiting myself in this rule to movie Darth Vader. So no series, no anything like that. Only the core 10 actual mainline movies. I'm including Rogue One in that because it's the best Star Wars movie, as we know. But other than that, the other piece is for Hulk, I'm going to actually do MCU Hulk. I think that Hulk has too many feats and is too busted. And if you don't limit to a specific type of Hulk like this, I think it's I don't think it's very fair. So if I'm going to make it Star Wars is also limited by the movies, then Hulk is also limited by the movies. That being said, I still think it's the Hulk, not close. Which is funny because that's like literally the thing. I'm going to turn my voice volume down. I haven't done this in a while, so hopefully it was not super loud, and hopefully it's not now super quiet. But I don't think it's particularly close. And I did a lot of research on this because I was really, really curious. This is my smelting apparatus. There's an everything can be copper mod pack that I have. This is very inefficient, but I'm not worried about efficiency. I'm just worried about fun. This is my bone meal generation little contraption. If you can hear water flowing in the background, that's because I actually have a cactus farm over there. And you'll notice there's a hopper in here. This is I'm bad at resource management, and there's a lot of stuff in this mod. So this is my storage room. It also tells us the biomes, which is cool. And this is just like a horrifying combination of hoppers and chests. So that way I can dump all the stuff up there, and it will eventually filter down here, and I can eventually sort through it. I've slowly moved them to these chests. I'm going to build out these chests a little bit more and then actually start organizing it soon. And then this is my cactus farm. It's 3 layers. Got a little bit of cactus in here. And then this connects also over to this part right here, which is where I'm going to build my nether portal. I'm going to flatten this off so I can make this a little underground area. And yeah, I've just done a lot of that kind of digging and resource acquisition because that's the early stages of the account. That's kind of pretty boring. So while I continue talking so I don't keep getting distracted every second, I'm going to go ahead and make a... actually, let's do a zinc sword. Mods are cool. Yeah, zinc sword. So I think I'm just going to go caving because I'll keep getting distracted. I am not YouTuber brain at this point in my life. So, no, I don't have enough. That's okay. We're just going to get a lot of, let's dump it. This is why I can't find anything ever. I just took all of these minerals out of a spot where I had a very nice organized place for them. And then I got rid of them and put them into a random place. Okay. let's get some building blocks. I think I have my armor is good. This is my same skin that I had before. I'm a little dinosaur guy, a little cheeky dinosaur. Okay. So the first thing that I did for research was, it says in the prompt that Hulk could use the Force, and that already comes with a lot of baggage, because what does it mean can use the Force? I would argue that it means that would have been recruited by the Jedi is the minimum requirement for that. So I looked it up, and this means we're going to have to discuss midichlorians. If you are a real Star Wars fan, I apologize. You may have to exit the chat, because I know how some people feel about midichlorians. But as the creator of the series, and as the person who got to add it into the first movie to make it movie canon, nope, it's a thing in the Star Wars universe. I'm sorry. It's unfortunate that it's not. I know people hate it. I actually am not a huge fan, or I don't have a problem with it. But that means we have to include it in here. So midichlorians are tiny. Basically, I watched a thing that was like an interview from George Lucas to explain this. That is how much research I did. That is why I have not been able to answer this question yet. That said, midichlorians were actually based on mitochondria, which is wild. I think I've joked about that before, but I never really thought that like that was a serious statement. I never thought that was like, oh yeah, obviously it is actually based on the mitochondria. Can I get these? I don't think I can. I'll pick some berries though. Oh, it's dark now. I don't want that. So it's based on mitochondria in the cell. There's the personal force, which is powered by your midichlorians that are inside of your cells, and then there is the force at large, which was a metaphor for God created by him. The idea that there is this all-powerful thing that's all around us and impacts our lives, and if we just reach out to it, it can give us special powers and stuff like that. Is a metaphor for a deity of some kind. And so I, while looking at this, was like, okay, well, that means that he has to have midichlorians, because if he wants to have the Force, he's got to have midichlorians. And I looked up, and it says the average Jedi would need to have or has midichlorians of around, I believe it was 10,000. I'm going to try to keep the scale at least correct, even if I don't remember the exact numbers for them. But it was around 10,000. And Jedi Masters would obviously have way more. People who just get picked up as Force sensitive would be like 2,500 to 5,000, somewhere in that range. So I'm going to say safely that he probably has a midichlorian content of around 5,000. This is the building blocks for my path, so I'm just going to be strip mining this probably for a little bit. I know that for retention time, we have to do Minecraft while talking about things, otherwise people won't watch it. I'm going to assume he has midichlorian contents around that. But I then had to do some research about how exactly the Hulk's cells work. Because I don't think it would be possible. I guess it would be possible that, like, the Hulk is Force sensitive, but Bruce Banner is not. But I just feel like it's an unreasonable thing to say. Like, you have to have midichlorians in order to be able to make more midichlorians, which is where we're going with this, because, like, the Hulk, when he becomes the Hulk, like, he generates mass in his cells. So he must increase the amount of cells or the size of the cells. And I don't think the amount of cells makes sense, because you would have rapid cell death after the hulking out process occurred. And so I think that his cells just expand in size and shrink in size. And if they expand in size, that would require them to have more energy. So you could say that it's not mitochondria, that it's some sort of gamma radiation powered thing. But gamma radiation isn't actually what powers him. It's his anger. So I don't see what it would have to be. It would have to be some other cell organelle that, like, works on rage and wrath. Which leads me to the point that, like, we know the Force also works on that. So I'm going to actually, like, assume for the purposes of this that the process that actually led to him becoming the Hulk is the thing that actually gave him the Force powers. That's what gave him the midichlorians. And the midichlorians are the things inside of him that are actually allowing him to Hulk out. Is that a reasonable thing? No, this is all dumb and made up. None of this is reasonable. This is ridiculous. But I think for the purposes of this prompt, it makes sense to assume that. And I will also talk about my big reason isn't even tied to this. I just wanted to kind of go through the thought process that I had. And while looking at that, I kind of decided that if midichlorians are the things that allow him to transform rage into power, much like the dark side of the Force does, then that means that the angrier he gets, the stronger in the Force that he gets, which we know that like Darth Vader is like super powerful in the Force. Like he's one of, if not the most powerful Force user of all time. I don't know Star Wars canon that much. Don't yell at me, please. I'm sure there's someone else that's like randomly way stronger. Probably Burn Kid in that last movie or whatever. But anyway. I think that would mean that as he got angrier, he is going to end up having a higher ability to use the Force. But I also have to assume that he does not know he has the Force. That he is not trained in the Force, I should say, because you need like training. It's a skill. Like you can be really good at a sport, but that doesn't mean you're going to become like a pro athlete at that sport just automatically. You have to have like training. So I don't think he's been trained as a Jedi. I think that would be unreasonable. There's no Jedi training academies on Earth, especially not in the MCU. Blah blah blah. So my next point then is we know that just because you're not trained in the Force doesn't mean you can't use it, because Rey uses the Force in episode 7, I believe, when she pulls the lightsaber. So eventually, if you realize that a thing is possible or that you know a thing can happen, you do actually have the ability to project out the Force. So I don't think that the Hulk would do this automatically. I don't think he would be like, oh yeah, I can move things with my mind. Crazy. Because the Hulk is not normally super intelligent. Professor Hulk is an exception, but we're not going to talk about Professor Hulk on this. And so I think that he should... what would probably happen is that he would get some kind of force choke, force object thrown at him. Obviously, it's going to like make the Hulk really mad whenever he sees a dude like blinking in and out of time every half second. But if he can see in the future, again, I'm not going to assume that he can like cognitively process that, but he can see that Darth Vader has this like ability to move things with his mind, basically. And I don't think the Hulk is going to try it necessarily, but I think eventually, while he's mad enough, if he's struggling against being restrained, he's going to realize that he has some amount of control over the Force. And that, yet again, I don't think is going to matter for this. I don't think that's like going to be the thing that is the be-all, end-all of why he's going to be able to do this. The real problem is that we know when you use the Force, sometimes unintended consequences happen. I actually did some research on Palpatine because I was curious if Palpatine's changing his body physiologically. Like, I know it was the lightning. Like, I kind of assumed it was the lightning, at least in episode 3, that changed him, his form. But if the thing that changed his form was actually overuse of his power, like if he used too much of the Force and it caused his body to like age and decay, that's horrible for Darth Vader, because that means that the Hulk's regeneration properties of his ability of his cells to regrow can actually let him like bulk use the Force over and over again and not worry about it. God, this is going to turn into like a really anime-centric episode here because I'm about to make another reference. But in My Hero, there is the character with the quirk that lets basically things rewind back in time. Or heal back to their previous state. And Midoriya gets to go full cowling for a really long time by having this person on there that just regenerates him over and over again, even though he's breaking his body over and over again. And I assume it would be like that. The Hulk would like be using the Force aggressively, and all this stuff is coming out of him. He's moving objects with his mind, all this, and his body's like slowly getting destroyed, but then it's just regenerating immediately. I have learned that's not the case. Most people seem to assume that it's the lightning. The lightning just physically changed his body, so that's not an argument for this. Instead, I am not a fan of episode 9. That was a joke. I think it's the worst episode. I'm not a Star Wars fan, but I at least will agree on that. However, in that episode, we see that Rey, when she is overcome with anger and frustration, shoots Force lightning. Not only has she never been trained in Force lightning, she's barely, I would say, been trained in the Force at all. Like, I guess she's pretty good at it at that point, but, like, not, like, she didn't go to the full-on academy. I mean, she, like, bailed on the guy, like, before her training completed, which is, like, I guess a hallmark of Jedis in that day and age. Jedis these days can't stay in school. Like, she was able to generate one of the strongest aspects of the Force lightning, without needing to really, like, think about it. It just happened. And I say strongest not because of any like canonical, like I've looked up lore books or anything like that. Again, I assume Force lightning is really difficult. We only ever see a couple of people using it. But the reason that I think it's such a big deal is because we have specifically seen the Force lightning damage the Emperor. Like that's why his face is melted. As far as I could tell canonically, it damaged him. His own lightning was able to damage him. And it was also one of the things that allowed him to kind of take out Darth Vader. And it was one of the things that kind of got redirected to him at the end. So it feels like this Force lightning stuff is like really, really dangerous. Even Darth Vader has trouble dealing with Force lightning, especially considering he's in a robotic exoskeleton. And this brings me to my big point here. Even if Darth Vader can freeze time, and we're also assuming he has a lightsaber. I know some people are like, it doesn't specify that in the prompt. Obviously, he has a lightsaber. He's Darth Vader. Like, he's gotta. And I argue that, like, I think the lightsaber is one of the few things that probably could have a chance of killing the Hulk. And for this prompt, I'll say that it could. I'm going to say that I think it could. Darth Vader is not a fast man, though. Darth Vader does not have super speed. He is strong, and he can endure a lot. But he is not, like, a super speedy dude. The fastest we see him move, I think, is during, like, his brisk walking around the Death Star, and also like in Rogue One when he menacingly walks down the hallway and does the greatest scene in cinematic history that I'm going to rewatch as soon as I'm done doing this, because not greatest in cinematic history, but like one of the coolest Star Wars scenes of all time, the lightsaber illuminating the hallway, and then he like goes to town on dudes and just like kills them all. I'm like, oh, it's beautiful, great, 10 out of 10. If you haven't seen Rogue One, you should watch Rogue One. But all of that kind of leads up to like he's slow and he can time stop, which gives him a little bit. But like the Hulk again doesn't have super speed, but is way faster. So even though I'm assuming a lightsaber could kill the Hulk, I definitely think it could injure him. I think it could chop off his limbs. I don't know if it could like full on kill him, because that we haven't seen the Hulk die in the MCU. I guess unless that's happened since I've stopped watching it. I haven't watched the MCU in a long time. So the Hulk can survive without oxygen. He's got blasted into space. That's part of why we had Thor Ragnarok. Again, one of the best MCU movies. You should watch it. He has survived attempting to shoot himself as Bruce Banner, and as he says, he spit the bullet back out. So, like, blunt force trauma can't really do it. The lightsaber is really the only thing that can do it. Vader does not have any in-movie feats of, like, doing cool lightsaber throw techniques like some of the other video game characters do. So I'm going to assume that he can't do that. All he really has is that he is very strong in the Force, and he now has these like extra attributes that we added on top of it. I don't know if I'm gonna get flack for this, but I think everyone sucks at combat in the Star Wars universe. And it makes sense because it's based on like samurai movies, Western movies. Like you have these like lone doers of good traveling around who do these like respectful means of combat. But like literally in some of the supplemental texts, they talk about how it's a forbidden technique to turn your lightsaber off and back on so that way you can dodge blocks. Which like, okay, it's a forbidden technique, but like so is gouging eyes. But if I'm gonna fight to the death, I'm gonna gouge somebody's eyes out. Like I'm not gonna just like, oh well, that's not like not honorable. Like honor goes out the window when you are a bunch of space Nazis, which I would argue that the Empire is, and that means that you can totally do that forbidden technique. Like do it, kill him. I don't know why you feel like you got to take the high road on this. And so I think even in like his battles, and he didn't like fully complete his training because he didn't have the rank of master, even though he got to sit on the council. Insert that meme here. Like I assume that maybe that is like a type of thing that he would have gotten better at, is like learning some of the other techniques of fighting. But like he just kind of menacingly moves forwards as like an unstoppable force. He's a lot more like Michael Myers in like the movies, I feel like, than he is in some of the other like more awesome like Yoda characters flipping around and doing cool stuff. So at the end of the day, what I see happening, certain movement. Yeah, this is the cave system I've been exploring, by the way. It is super pretty, and I've been trying not to like, I don't want to strip mining because it's super pretty down here. But during the fight, what I assume is going to happen is Hulk is going to like throw something at him. Darth Vader's probably going to stop it. Hulk is going to start running at him. He's going to realize Darth Vader's blinking around. He's then going to realize that that was actually the future because he could see 3 seconds into the future, so he knows what's going to happen. That's going to make him angry because he realizes that he's in the future it didn't work. And every time something doesn't work, he's going to get more angry about the fact that the thing he was going to do was not going to work, and that's going to increase his rage and increase his power, because that's how the Hulk works. I'm also then going to assume that, let's say, if you weren't on my team, that when he gets angry, that actually generates more midichlorians in his body. Let's say that he just is mildly force sensitive, but he's getting really angry. We know, because of episode 9, that anger can be channeled into force lightning. That is like one of the purest manifestations of like rage. When someone is enraged or angry, oh god, this guy killed me a bunch already. I'm gonna try to take him out real quick. It's one of the purest manifestations of rage that can happen in the Star Wars universe. It's uncontrolled, it's chaotic, it does not care who else it harms because it lights lightning, it branches out, it can hit other people. So So like Force Lightning is like the definitive like dark side representation of anger and rage. The Emperor like screams like yeah every time he shoots lightning, and I mean I don't make that noise unless I'm angry, so I'm assuming that it has to probably be tied to anger, which means that if Darth Vader cannot kill him quickly, which is not one of his strong suits, because again he can't suffocate him and force choke him, that's his usual quick option, and he can't get up close to him to actually do any lightsaber fights, the Hulk is eventually going to turn into a raging ball of Force Lightning. He is just going to be flailing his arms around, and Force Lightning is going to be pouring off of him. And at that point, there is no possible way that Darth Vader could ever get anywhere close to him. It's just not going to work. Again, your lightsaber can absorb some of it, but not when the entire body is basically going to turn into Force Lightning. Like, this is the equivalent of, like, a Force ghost, but made out of lightning. But it's also not a ghost, because he can also just punch you with, like, multiple tons of force while he's doing it. Like, it is absurd, the concept of, like, the Hulk having the Force, not because he's going to use it. He's not going to use telekinesis. The Hulk doesn't work that way. He would much rather rip something out of the ground and throw it. The problem is that because he has the Force, he is just going to basically gain lightning powers. Ooh, random ore. Let's see what we get. I didn't see an iron. Cool. So yeah, that is why, even though I have, the joke is true, that I do usually think that the Hulk is going to win pretty much everything. In this case, I don't think it's particularly close. I think if you add extended universe stuff, I don't know enough about Star Wars, but like, again, there's like World War Hulk and like a bunch of other versions of Hulk. There's Devil Hulk, there's like Grief Hulk. There's like so many forms of Hulk that are like crazy strong. And so I would not like, I don't think there's possibly any way that like having Darth Vader's out of universe results could give him a chance. I think it's just going to make the Hulk stomp him even harder. So yeah, that is the reason that I made this video. And as you can see by the runtime, which it looks like I've been recording for 26 minutes. You guys get like a full-on Let's Play episode here. Oh my god. I need. Can you go to bucket? I don't know. Oh, I want him so bad. Oh man. Okay, we're gonna log out right here actually. So I'm gonna stand here with this little buddy. Let's get him in the water so he doesn't disappear. Okay. And then no, friend, no. Don't. Yes, yeah. You squeak. You come. I don't have a bucket. I can't take you. So yeah, that I don't think I could have this 30-minute conversation over and over again with multiple people. And so I decided that I would just make this video for it. And I guess you guys get a little actual full-on Let's Play. I thought this was going to be like a 10-minute thing, but as my students will know, when I say it's going to be a quick thing, it is basically never a quick thing. I don't really know how to do that. So yeah, me and hopefully this little guy, I'm going to try to bring him back to my lake if I can. No, don't run from me. Don't. This is not what you do to things you love. You don't trap them, but sometimes you really want them, and you don't want them to run away. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and log off. Thank you, everybody. I have no idea if how many people are going to watch this. I have no idea when I'll make another one of these, if I'll ever make another one of these, but it will probably still be this world. I really like this mod pack. Ooh, little guy. What are you doing over there? Anyway, thank you, everybody, for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Be good to each other, stay cool and hydrated, don't use Skibbity anymore. Yeah. Peace out, everybody.